radio más molina. Hablamos de lo que te interesa.
Welcome back to Boca de Todos, the interview program that brings voices from around the world right to you. Just a few days ago, we had the pleasure of interviewing our classmates from Norway, and today we are excited to hear from our Cypriot guests, Dionysis, Andreana, Ilaria, Crisobalanto, and Andrea, who are here through Erasmus Plus, a European Union program that promotes student and teacher exchanges, cross-cultural experiences and collaboration between schools across Europe. We know that traveling to a new country can bring a mix of emotions like excitement, curiosity, and some nerves. Erasmus Plus is a fantastic way to discover new cultures and understand different ways of life. So let's dive into the heart of this cultural exchange and hear from the people who make it possible. Dionysis, have you learned anything surprising or interesting about Spanish culture so far? Or what's one thing you noticed that's different from Cyprus?
So one thing I've noticed about Spanish culture and Spanish people in general is how welcoming they are. So from the first day I came to Spain, like the way that the people treat me, I was honestly very surprised because I felt at home, even though I didn't know those people. So I'm really grateful I had that experience.
One question about this. Are people in Cyprus the same way as they are in Spain or not?
I think we are, more or less, but I think you guys have taken it up a notch.
So, during your visit here, you have been staying with a host family. This allowed you to see what daily life is really like and a fun way to practice your Spanish. Try new foods and see the differences and similarities between life in Spain and Cyprus. So, Andreana, how has it been staying with your host family so far? Have there been any surprises or interesting differences compared to life at home?
So, staying with my host family has been an incredible experience. As Dionysis says, everybody was so welcoming and my host family made me feel like I'm part of their family. One surprising difference is how meals are a big social event here. In Spain, the family takes time to sit together, even in lunchtime, to tell about their news and how they spend their day. In Cyprus, though, meals tend to be shorter and more focused on just eating rather than talking about our day and this stuff. I've also noticed that the daily schedule here is different. They tend to have their meals in late hours, like dinner is most likely to be served at 9 p.m., which was something that I wasn't used to back in Cyprus.
Yes, it's curious because most of the people who come to Spain tell us the same, like the timetables are totally different. For example, could you tell us what time do you normally go to bed or what time do you normally have lunch or dinner?
So in Cyprus, we finish school at 1:35, so I'm home by 2. So I usually have lunch at that time. And for dinner, we're having around 7 or 8-ish. So by 10, I'm in bed.
Totally different because we consider that at 7 it's really early to have dinner. Normally at 7 we are having a snack, okay, but we have dinner around 9, 10, and of course we go to bed around 12. Fine. So Andreana, what has been your favorite part of living with your host family, whether it's a meal, a tradition, or something unique they've shared with you?
So my favorite part of living with my host family has definitely been the food. I've had the chance to try so many new dishes that I absolutely love, and each one was offering a unique taste of Spanish culture. But beyond the food, what I appreciated the most was how comfortable they made me feel. From the beginning, they welcomed me with open arms, and they made me feel like I was part of their family, that I wasn't an outsider. I've never felt like an outsider in their family. Instead, they created such a warm, inviting atmosphere that it truly felt like I was home with my own family.
To be honest, I think that if I were you, that could be one of the most important things for me, okay? Well, you know that I'm visiting you then in February, so I hope to feel the same, okay? I'm sure that it will be a great experience, okay? Then experiencing what the school is like in another country can give us a unique perspective on our own education systems. Every school has its own way of doing things, from the organization of the classrooms to the way teachers interact with students. So, Ilaria, how is the school here in Zamora similar or different from your school in Cyprus? Any differences that stand out?
One major difference that Spanish schools have is the time that it starts. In Spain, school starts 1 hour later than in Cyprus, which I find that better because you get an hour more sleep, and sleep is important for me. And also how the students and teachers are on a first name basis. In Cyprus, we call our teachers Mrs. and their name, or Mr. and their name. But in Spain, that they're more like friends rather than teachers and students. That's how we see it.
I understand what you are telling me. It's true that in the past, it used to be the same way here in Spain, and we were more respectful towards teachers. But nowadays it's different. The relationship has changed, and sometimes we are seen as friends, and sometimes this is not good. Okay, so they need to notice the difference between being friends, being teachers. Although we can have both things, like we can have a little bit of both worlds. So, food is such a big part of any culture. Every country has its traditional dishes, flavors, and customs, and food can tell you a lot about the lifestyles and values of the people in a country. So, Cristobalanto, was there anything you really enjoyed or found surprising?
Yes, of course, there are so many things that I enjoy for my whole experience in Spain. Firstly, during the workshops, I really enjoyed the first day the games with icebreaker. It was so funny. In addition, our visits to several museums, it were very interesting and educational, I can say. But I get surprised about Spanish traditions and how the food is here. I mean, we have quite a lot of difference between our foods.
So, what are the typical foods in your country? Is there anything you could recommend us to try?
Yes, of course. In Cyprus, we need to say that food is an extremely important part of our culture. So there are plenty of foods that you need to try. For example, souvlakia, macaroni του φούρνου, κουπέπια, halloumi, and anari, of course. But there are also some desserts that you need to try because we have lots of it, such as λουκουμάδες, πουρέκια, πίτες της Σάκης, or δάχτυλα, that are typical Cypriot desserts.
Okay, it's true that most of the things that you mentioned, I don't know them, okay? But as I told you before, I'm visiting you in February, so I feel like trying all of these things. I'm eager to do it. Fine. So during your time here, you've had the chance to participate in a variety of activities, both at the school and outside of it. Some of these have focused on human rights, an important topic that connects people across cultures, and other activities have allowed you to meet new people or new places. Then, Andrea, which activity related to human rights helped you see the topic from a new perspective?
Well, I would definitely say the art-related activities. We had sort of an art history lesson here in the school that we learned a lot about paintings and how they are connected to some human rights, and I really enjoyed that. And the day after that, we went to Prado Museum in Madrid and we saw them in real life. It was an amazing experience for me. It might be my favorite part from the trip, the art that's connected with it.
I guess that you really like art. I guess that in your country, well, I don't know anything about your hobbies, but do you enjoy like watching art or studying art, reading art? Is there anything that you do in your country related to this topic?
Well, as a person, I feel deeply connected with arts. So I knew that I would love these experiences because I love museums. I've never been to such a big museum like Prado, and I loved the whole experience there.
And how did it feel using the English language in a real world context?
This trip has honestly been amazing for practicing my English and has given me a chance to actually see how many words we have in common between languages. English, Greek, French, and Spanish are the languages that I've heard in this trip, and honestly, the similarities amazed me.
Yes, it's curious, but it's good, okay? I think that you feel more comfortable when you are using a new language and you see that you share many things with your own language, okay? Because you have to express yourself. In this case, you have come to a new country with a new language, okay? So if you find the similarities between both languages, it's always something helpful and useful, okay, in your experience here. Okay, so experiences like this often leave a lasting impact, and sometimes they even inspire new goals or future dreams. So, Dionysis, has this trip made you think about studying or living abroad again in the future? Is there any place you'd really like to visit after Spain?
I always wanted to study abroad, and this trip gave me a sense of security, and it made me feel like I would be able to make it or survive in a foreign country. I would absolutely love living in Spain because of, like I said before, how lovely the people are, and also the weather. I don't enjoy hot weather as much as I used to, and I think that a cold weather, I don't know, just suits my personality more. And yes, I would like to visit another country after Spain. I was thinking about Canada, a bit far away, but yeah, why not?
It's curious because, I was thinking about what you said about the weather in your country. What's the weather like in a normal day of winter? How many degrees do you have? Like it's hot normally in winter or not?
So usually in winter is not that hot. The lowest it will go probably it's around like 17 to 10 max degrees. So you will be able to survive with just a light jacket, basically.
Well, here in Spain, you are checking that in winter it's too cold. It's true that our summers are totally different because it's quite hot in here, like around 35, 40 degrees, depending on the part of Spain where we are. What about the summers in your country? What could you tell me about these?
The summers in our country are very, very hot and dry. But thankfully we're surrounded by ocean, so we always go at the beaches and hang out with our friends, swimming, eating ice cream, so it's not really that bad.
So, Ilaria, if you had to pick one thing you'll miss most about Spain when you go back, what would it be?
Obviously, the chill and laid-back atmosphere. Spanish people are never anxious and always positive, with a mindset that everything will work out, no matter the obstacles, or at least that's what I received from their attitude. So, definitely, I'll miss feeling this relaxed in my daily life.
It's curious what you are telling me because if you think of some other countries in Europe, North countries, I know that the differences are considerable, okay, because the way of acting, the way of living, it's totally different. But I thought that your country was going to be more similar to our country. But it's curious that you say that here in Spain we are like not anxious, like more relaxed. It's not the same in your country then? Like you are more stressed or you are always doing things, not time for relaxing?
Well, it depends on the person, but personally, since our school system in Cyprus is totally different, we have to participate in extra lessons in the afternoon so that adapt to the stress that we encounter. And yeah, our daily lives are more stressful.
Yes, this is because Spain is where stress goes on holiday. Good to know that siestas aren't just naps, they are a way of life.
So this is the end of today's program.
Thank you so much to our Cypriot guests for sharing their experiences with us today on En Boca de Todos. It's been inspiring to hear about your time here in Spain, and we're glad you've made Zamora part of your journey. For our listeners, we hope you enjoyed today's episode and that it gave you a fresh look at the incredible cultural exchange happening through Erasmus+. Be sure to stay tuned for more stories and voices from around the world right here on En Boca de Todos, where everyone has a chance to speak freely. Thanks for listening and hasta luego.
Radio Más Molina. Hablamos de lo que te interesa.